guys, what's up? So I have been on vacation. This is my first video that I'm going to have when I came home. I did actually just start a video for a different reading for the letter F, but I'm gonna finish that a different day or later because my kid has to wake up soon and it's just easier to do something quick that I don't have to like literally like really get into. Like this one's different, these cards. Okay, so this is gonna be just for like the collective, like just whoever needs to hear it. Okay, all right, so okay, so there could be something that you've been going through, right? That's had to it's been something that you've been leading up to doing, right? And everything's finally coming together and looking like things are coming to the surface. There could have been things that were hidden. Depending on if the veil card comes out, I'll be able to know better. But you could have also been hiding something that you're trying to create right now, and been in some kind of healing process, which is what's going to be the thing that's going to help you come about this promise that you might have made yourself or to somebody else, or somebody could have made a promise to you. There needed to be a timeout, some kind of release in order for this creation to start unfolding. And the healing is that you started is really what brought you into your power and brought you into like a magical being kind of energy. But you didn't, it's either saying don't look back or, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. All right, so say there was some way that you used to be, right? And the strength was to change that and have some kind of rebirth. This could have been earlier in the year. You could have released something that helped you come into some kind of rebirth in the beginning of the year. But this vulnerability that had to be done was what is helping you bring about this magic and this promise that you either gave yourself or somebody else or somebody gave to you. So like somebody gave you a promise or something and it wasn't coming to pass and you just thought that it was never going to happen. It's kind of like because you needed to go through the healing to get the power to be vulnerable. And in solitude, you did do this, or you're doing this now. And this is what's going to have this creation unfold because there wasn't a rebirth. Now, whatever's going to be coming up to the surface, either from another person, ideas, downloads, messages, you know, intuitive knowings that were blocked before, you release something. Now, I did a reading the other day, and it was saying, actually it was for the letter B, and it was saying, you know, there's something that your vulnerability has to be like a vigilance, like so there is a way of doing things. This is like breach of like law, like a broken rule, something like that. But I also use this as in like don't go back. Like so like whatever it is that you needed to gain strength over to take up and you took a breath for, like don't go back to whatever vigilant state of mind or state of being or your intuitive impulses. Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it. Like don't go back to being in this vigilant kind of whatever rebirth that you had to vulnerability into solitude. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going to bring the magic and the power of this unfoldment of the creation. Okay, sorry, I'm going so fast. Come more in this ebb and flow. I feel like you have an instinct. Okay, you have an instinct that this is what is it. Like this is what it is. Okay, and it's like you could have been working towards something and it's like now you're seeing it, whether it's literally physically showing up or not. Like you see it as in like you have a new vision, and the vision from the healing, the new vision came from the healing, right? Because there could have been something that you knew all along, but because you were being so vigilant in your actions and movements and everything like that. It wasn't seen and taken and felt the way, right, that you knew it to be, or that you knew once it to be, or you wanted it to be. So there was some kind of wake-up call through change, which could have been through this solitude and sanctuary. There was a reflection period. You could have went through something that opened your eyes to this vigilance that you were holding back from the passion that you wanted, but this wake-up call, it activated something. It was like change in the wind, change in direction, change in seeing how things needed to change, change in seeing how things needed to be, and the resistance that you had, see, to love. There was something that you were seeing. Love, okay. It could be in a relationship, a person, yourself. You weren't seeing something for what it was that has to do with love. And from seeing it, this passion was activated, right? Once you had that wake-up call during the change, that instinct, right? That more ebb and flow had to come into this. There was purification of thoughts, of beliefs on the love that's been veiled, that's been covered, that's been underneath something. Like, it's like in the solitude, in your sanctuary, in your peaceful isolation, kind of, it's like you were looking underneath the rocks and you stumbled across something, and which is what is your wake-up call to reflection. This could have been sometime during the winter, or when the winter comes up, after maybe a release period. That's when it's going to start manifesting. You started nurturing yourself more from the beginning, as in like this new path forward, the movement, right? Because Gaia is beginning. It's the start. It's, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to look at it like Mother Earth, like, so there was nurturing in this new, path forward with this instinct of ebb and flow to blessings. You know that moving in this direction is going to bring about blessings. Is this Vision Quest? No, okay. And new beginnings, right? New beginnings forward. Gaia, movement. It's not letting me get it. Right? And I can relate with this because I've recently had spirit. Actually, I had a relationship that opened my eyes to how I was in another relationship. That is what my veiling was to love. It was the wake-up call that I needed to know my worth on my own. And it's not that I didn't, because I definitely did, but some kind of healing from something that I went through is what brought me into my power to be able to feel like I could be vulnerable in this rebirth of not going back to being the same way I used to be in my vigilant moving and taking little action to my intuitive impulses in a positive way. Not impulses in like, you know, when you're gonna get in trouble or do something stupid that's gonna mess up a lot of stuff, right? I came into like this more meditating, more believing, more invocating of having ceremony with myself, coming together with what it was I wanted. Does that make sense? with what it was I wanted for my vision. Yeah. So what it was I used to think I wanted, it wasn't. It was, but there was so much more that I could add on to it that I didn't really know, and my perspective changed, right? My perspective changed of like what somebody was saying to me all along. I'm just saying me, so like maybe it makes sense for somebody else more, because I know what my mine is, you know. And even though they're my readings, my energy is still in it, but not in my energy as in like it influences anybody else's story, you know. But this is just my story of like how it relates to me, so like maybe it helps you relate to you and you see it, because I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing it, believe me. But something brought some kind of radiance out of you. And again, it's summertime. This is summer solstice. It could have been around there. It could have been around the Lionsgate, the 8th. And these are timeless, so it doesn't really matter. But something's coming together. Heart chakra activation, Kundalini activation. You know, sitting in this stillness is what really was able to help you bring about this change and purifying your thoughts, that helps you come into this new direction, activation period that is going to bring you these blessings that you know you're supposed to have. And this could have taken a long time. It took me 4 years. Imagine. But it's completed now. The promise is completed. Stay grounded in this waiting period. But keep doing reflection work, because things are going to come to the surface intuitively. Your third eye is opening right now. This could have something to do with generational curses, breaking timelines, breaking generational cycles, toxic cycles, behaviors, bringing things more into harmony by effortlessly just focusing on it. You could be somebody that works with crystals, but something unpredictable is going to be coming out of it. Yeah, your innocence, a new beginning, celebration. But there was karma that had to be served, good or bad. And for mine, it was like bad, but like in a good way, if that makes sense. So it was like what I went through, it sucked and it was annoying. It didn't break me, it didn't hurt me, it didn't traumatize me in any type of way, which is like the good but bad. But like from seeing it, I was seeing what I was doing in a situation, and I was feeling what I was making a person feel like then, when in reality they weren't doing anything wrong. But because of my trauma, I was looking at it as just another toxic partner. And I did that for 4 years. 4 years. Until I came into a place of healing where I was able to see it for what it was, for the truth. And it's like, yeah. So what that's going to do is bring equality into your relationships within yourself. Because you now know the self-knowledge, you know the healing that you had to go through to come into this ebb and flow of abundance, of knowing who you are and finding home within yourself, right? That's what's going to bring this creation, some kind of spiritual direction in the change of the wind. All right? Mwah. I love you guys. Bye.